Yo, what's going on, Headliner Nation? It's your boy, The Doc, and I'll be totally straight with you guys. This week, I am struggling. I am like 1997 Jordan, finals game 5, flu game today. So this is going to be a shorter episode than what I normally do. And just bear with me. The energy is going to be a little bit lower than usual. I'm going to do my best to give you guys all the injury updates that you need for your fantasy lineups, but just know the Doc is hurting, and it's going to be a little bit tougher to bring the energy and the flow this week like I normally do. But let's get into it. I know you guys don't care about how sick I am. You care about your fantasy teams. You care about the injuries that you need to know about. So let's jump right in and talk about some NFL football. All right, guys, sadly, we do have a moment of silence to start this week off. Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams has torn his ACL. He is done for the year. Moment of silence for Mike Williams. But the show has got to go on. Keenan Allen in line for a ton of work. Maybe the most targets heading into week 4 going to Keenan Allen. That guy is actually the wide receiver 1 in PPR through 3 weeks. We'll see if he can become a league winner now that Mike Williams is done for the year. All right, first game of the week, Thursday Night Football. We already know what happened. The Lions putting a beat down on the Packers, and David Montgomery coming back from injury, having a huge game, 3 touchdowns. I'm very worried that Jahmyr Gibbs may just not be a thing this year. David Montgomery clearly looking very sharp right now, even coming off the injury. Packers did have some good news in this game, though. Christian Watson returned, able to score a touchdown. So if you were to slide him in your lineup, you at least got that. Didn't look amazing, but saved his day with the touchdown. Aaron Jones also returned for the Packers. Sadly, David Bakhtiari, left tackle, is going on IR, though, so we are going to be without their left tackle for a while, and Aaron Jones just did not look good without Bakhtiari on the field. All right, let's head into the early Sunday games. A lot of early Sunday games this week. Falcons at the Jaguars. Falcons, no real injuries to talk about. Jags do have wide receiver Zay Jones on the mend with a knee injury. Didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. He does not look likely to play. Probably the matchup of the week, Dolphins at the Bills. Dolphins running back Salvon Ahmed dealing with a groin strain, missed week 3, back practicing in a limited capacity, but I doubt he gets much work after Devon Achane, not Achane. He's changed his name on us just so I can butcher it even worse. I think he stole Salvon Ahmed's job this week, last week at least, and so I do not expect to see Ahmed getting a lot of work if he were to come back, even though I do think he is going to play. Bills are looking pretty healthy, no major injuries there. Moving on to the Vikings at the Panthers. Battle of 0-3 teams. Vikings are pretty healthy, no major injuries. Panthers have quarterback Bryce Young coming back from the ankle sprain. Full practices Wednesday and Thursday. I expect him to play, but I would not be surprised if the team opted to have a short leash with him. He did not look good in his first 2 starts. Andy Dalton looked much more competent. We'll see if they're going to try to win some games, knowing that their first round pick is not in their possession for next year. Wide receiver Jonathan Mingo dealing with a concussion. He's been limited all week. Looks like he's going to play. Running back Miles Sanders has a groin strain. He's been limited all week as well. He's been playing through this, though, so expect him to play. We got a double poop fecta here. Broncos at the Bears, another battle of 0-3 teams. Broncos wide receiver Jerry Jeudy dealing with a knee injury. Not much info so far on this, but he's been limited in practice all week. I'd still expect him to play. Bears dealing with some issues at the cornerback position. DB Eddie Jackson, Josh Blackwell, and Jalen Johnson all dealing with different injuries. Have not practiced at all this week. Looks like the Bears secondary is seriously hurting heading into this matchup with the Broncos. Heading over to the Ravens at the Browns, another great game to watch this week. Ravens wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. is dealing with that ankle sprain. Didn't play in week 3. Has not practiced yet. Doesn't look like he's going to be back. Wide receiver Rashad Bateman dealing with a hamstring strain. Didn't practice at all yet this week. With 2 wide receivers down, I do like Zay Flowers as a dart throw streamer this week if you can find a way to get him in your lineups. Running back Justice Hill has that toe injury. Didn't practice Wednesday but was limited on Thursday. I do expect him to return this week and split time with Gus Edwards. Now, the Browns running back Kareem Hunt dealing with rib and groin injuries in his first game of the season last week. Didn't practice Wednesday, limited Thursday. Already banged up, setting up a nice chance for Jerome Ford to have a startable week. I do expect Hunt to play in some capacity, though. And then quarterback Deshaun Watson has a shoulder sprain, injured his shoulder at the end of Sunday's game, appears to be on track to play with back-to-back limited practices, but just keep an eye on him as it is his throwing shoulder. Heading over to the Steelers at the Texans. Steelers only really dealing with wide receiver Allen Robinson. He's got an ankle injury. Hasn't practiced. He did practice on Thursday, but didn't practice Wednesday. Should play, but I'm not really starting him anywhere. Texans, biggest concern for them is offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil. He has a knee injury that's kept him out a couple weeks now. Does not look like he's practicing yet. Don't expect him to play. Moving on to the Rams at the Colts. Rams tight end Tyler Higbee has an Achilles injury. Very nervous for Tyler Higbee. Has not practiced yet this week. I've got some doubt that he's going to be able to play. He's coming off his best game of the year. Didn't look like he tweaked the Achilles at all in that game, so maybe they're just resting him, but I would have a backup plan if he is your starter. As for the Colts, quarterback Anthony Richardson dealing with a concussion. Back-to-back full practices after missing last week. I'm expecting Anthony Richardson to be back, and he is probably one of my favorite players to watch play football right now. He's just so electric and so big. It's amazing to watch him just bowl over guys, but I do wish he'd protect himself a little bit more. Heading over to the Bucs at the Saints, always a good game when these two match up. Bucs cornerback Jamel Dean left multiple times in their game last week. He has neck and shoulder issues, hasn't practiced yet this week, doesn't look like he's going to be able to play. Saints quarterback Derek Carr has a right AC sprain, has not practiced yet, left the game, took a hard hit, actually left the stadium to look to see if he had any internal injuries, so this may be worse than what they are letting on. Does not look like he's going to be back. Jameis Winston getting a revenge game start. Always love to see one of those. Heading over to the Commanders at the Eagles. Commanders tight end Logan Thomas dealing with a concussion. Missed week 3, but is back practicing in full. He should play if you're looking for a streamer at the tight end position. Eagles wide receiver Devontae Smith has an illness. Who doesn't have an illness this week? Am I right? Did not practice on Thursday, so just keep an eye on this one. Illness is kind of tough for me to gauge. Just depends on how they're feeling heading into Sunday. We won't likely get any official word until Saturday, but keep an eye on Devontae Smith. Just know he is sick. And typically we do see guys play through illness, but no illness on Wednesday, not practicing Thursday, something to keep an eye on there for Devontae Smith. Heading over to the Bengals at the Titans, last game of the early slate. We got Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow dealing with that calf strain, played through it this week, heading into a full practice on Wednesday and Thursday. Like to see that. Maybe he's getting past this calf strain. Hard to say for sure. Hopefully he can string together some healthy games. We know that this offense has been struggling a little bit, but it was good to see him and Jamar Chase finally get on the same page. Tight end Irv Smith dealing with a hamstring strain. Hasn't practiced yet this week. Doesn't look like he will play for the Bengals. Now, Titans wide receiver Treylon Burks has a knee injury, limited on Wednesday, didn't practice on Thursday. We've seen the Titans actually play this game a few times, downgrading players on Thursday, so I feel like there's still a pretty good chance that Burks plays, but just know he has had a large injury history relating to his knees, so it's always worth knowing that he's on the injury report. And then running back Derrick Henry has a toe sprain, really bad week 3. You just have to wonder if this toe issue is more than they are letting us know about. It seems to be bothering him. Doesn't look like he has the same kind of juice that he normally does. I'm going to say he's more of an RB2 for me this week. Still startable, but definitely some uncertainty with how many touches he is giving up to Tyjae Spears right now. So a little worried about Derrick Henry. They're listing this DNP on Thursday as rest, but again, toe injuries with running backs, not really something you want to play around with. All right, let's head into the midday slate on Sunday. Raiders at the Chargers. Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo dealing with a concussion. Didn't practice on Wednesday, but was limited on Thursday. Normally, I'd say he's on pace to play given the concussion protocol. Normally, a limited practice means they're playing on Sunday, but I do have to wonder if the team is going to take a chance here and see what they have in Aiden O'Connell. A lot of buzz for him in the preseason. Would not be surprised if Jimmy Garoppolo is a surprise sit. If you're looking for a quarterback 2, Aiden O'Connell might get a start this week. Just keep an eye on it. Chargers running back Austin Eckler is back practicing finally after missing the last 2 weeks. He's pacing towards playing, but is practicing in a limited capacity, but we like to see it. If we are fantasy managers, I'm predicting he will be able to play this week. Tight end Gerald Everett for the Chargers has an illness. Again, must be going around. Didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. Donald Parham seems like a fine streaming option if Everett ends up missing this game after not practicing at all this week. He's going to be a game time decision because, again, illness hard to judge for me. Heading over to the Patriots at the Cowboys. Patriots are pretty healthy. No one to really talk about there. Cowboys starting offensive line is getting healthier. Tyler Biadasz. Okay, I think I said that right this time. If I said it wrong, just let me know in the comments. I know you guys always do. Dealing with that hamstring strain, was limited on Thursday. Looks like he's going to be able to play this week. Guard Zach Martin dealing with the ankle sprain, also practicing again. Looks like he will be ready. The only guy that I'm still worried about is tackle Tyron Smith, dealing with a knee sprain. Didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. All right, last game here for the midday slate. Cardinals at the 49ers. Cardinals wide receiver Marquise Brown dealing with a thumb injury. Showed up on the practice report on Thursday, but was limited. I'd still expect him to play, but just know dealing with something with his thumb. 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel has a rib contusion and knee sprain. Deebo put the squad on his back last week and definitely paid a price for doing it. I'd like to say that he will eventually adapt his game as he ages, but so far he has not been able to avoid getting banged up in each and every year with these injuries. They pile up because he's probably the most violent wide receiver runner in the game. Deebo Samuel absolutely is the meanest guy I've ever seen with a football. That dude is just trying to kill people when he is out there. I do think he's a game time decision, but I won't be surprised if he is toughing it out and playing. Heading into Sunday night football, we got Chiefs at the Jets. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has an ankle sprain. Everyone kind of collectively held their breath. He got rolled up on and went down with the ankle sprain. Luckily, he did play through that injury after getting it taped up. Practiced in full this week. Looks like he is not going to be quite as mobile, but will be able to play. Jets are pretty healthy, so we're just going to head into Monday night football. Seahawks at the Giants. Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf dealing with a rib contusion. Didn't practice on Thursday, but it was just a walkthrough, so it doesn't really tell us much. Still expecting DK Metcalf to play through this. Safety Jamal Adams coming off the injury from last year. Has not played yet this year, but all signs, including an interview that he gave, say he's coming back this week. So we're excited to see Jamal Adams on the football field again. And then finally, running back for the Giants, Saquon Barkley dealing with an ankle sprain. Limited on Thursday. Again, walkthrough practices don't really tell us a whole lot. I'd say he's still about a 50-50 chance to play. He's going to be a game time decision. You need to have a backup. If you plan on playing Saquon Barkley, throw him in the flex, please. Do not lock yourself into no flexibility by throwing him in the running back slot this week. All right, that's it for the injury updates this week. Appreciate you guys bearing with me as I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm going to go hang out in my bed for the next 3, maybe 4 days until football is back, and probably going to be scrolling a little bit of pristine auction with all this free time where I'm feeling miserable. Make sure you head over there, use the code headliners when you sign up. Let them know that we sent you. Also, Christmas right around the corner. Ladies, time to get your man some Manscaped gear. Men, get your ladies some Manscaped gear. You get it for yourself, though. Don't buy your ladies Manscaped gear. They're not going to appreciate that. Buy it for yourself. Let them know it's a gift for them as well. Use the code headliners, 20% off and free shipping on your first order. And finally, got to thank our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Still waiting for my lighted sign. Jake and Kyle have lighted signs. I didn't get sent one. It's not the first time that I have been ditched as far as the free swag. Haven't even gotten my t-shirt yet. Jake claims he has it, has not sent it to me. So a little suspicious. Let me know in the chat if you think that's bogus. Get Ethan a sign. Hashtag get Ethan a sign in the comments. Appreciate you guys once again. Always love Headliner Nation. If you get a chance, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Hey, if me going through the flu just to get you guys this info is not worth a like and a subscribe, I don't know what is. And if you want to be a part of the exclusive Headliner Nation on Discord, the best place to talk to me, Jake, Kyle, Taylor, Big Mac. Everybody is over on the Discord channel. Hit that little join button and make sure that you become an official member of Headliner Nation. But I appreciate you guys dealing with me not feeling the greatest. You know, I had to bring it for my boys and girls over at Headliner Nation, but I'm out of here. The doc is out.